your morning in 8 minutes. 2 people are recovering this morning after a motorcycle crash Saturday afternoon.
The Tennessee Highway Patrol says Timothy Ermer was driving a motorcycle with Raven Acuff on the back. Ermer reportedly drove into oncoming traffic before hitting a curb and flipping. Ermer landed in a ditch. Acuff was thrown from the motorcycle. Ermer is now charged with vehicular assault and driving under the influence.
And a suspect is now charged after a more than 3-month-long investigation into a deadly hit and run. Right now, Kendra Toy faces vehicular homicide charges, accused of hitting and killing Donald Massengill on Western Avenue back in March. Toy is also charged with reckless endangerment, leaving the scene of an accident, and driving under the influence.
2 men are recovering after a crash shut down I-40 East for hours near West Hills on Saturday. A large trailer came unhooked from a Ford truck in the middle lane. 2 men were trying to reattach the trailer when another car hit them and the trailer. Traffic backed up for miles while crews worked to clean up the scene. And a man is now charged with first-degree murder after telling police dispatch he shot his wife. Hamlin County deputies responded to a home on Marie Street around 7 o'clock Saturday night. Dispatchers say Charles Barbley called 911 saying that he shot his wife, Mickey. Charles was arrested at his home and is now charged with first-degree murder. Mickey died at the scene. And we now know the identity of the body found on a Jefferson County road last week. Knoxville man Donald Cates went missing July 3rd. Police found his body off Phillips Road in Dandridge 3 days later. Investigators are now waiting on an autopsy to determine a cause of death. And the Knox County Board of Education is holding a work session tonight. On the agenda today, a report on student success, along with looking ahead to this Thursday's regular session. You'll have a chance to comment during a public forum at the end of this evening's meeting. It all gets started at 5 o'clock in the Summer Place Boardroom downtown. A statewide ban on gender-affirming care for minors is now in effect in Tennessee. Originally, a federal judge temporarily blocked portions of the ban. The 6th Circuit Court of Appeals granted the state's emergency motion to lift the ruling this weekend. Tennessee is now the only state banning gender-affirming care for transgender youth. And if you can donate blood and your blood type is O negative, Medic desperately needs your help. The Blood Center says it has a less than 1-day supply right now. If you're a healthy donor, you're encouraged to donate as soon as possible. Heavy storms brought severe flooding to the northeast overnight. That's expected to continue today. At least 1 person died after drowning. Thousands of flights were canceled or delayed, and a state of emergency was declared in New York's Hudson Valley. More severe storms in that area are expected today, including large hail and damaging wind across large parts of the country. 84,000 womb children's bicycles are being recalled because the handlebars can detach. 19 people are hurt as a result. Those injuries include bruises and cuts. If you have one of the Womb original 2018 through 2021 models, top recommendations for children ages 18 months to 14 years. You should stop using it now. You can contact Womb Bikes USA for a free repair kit. And President Biden is on a 5-day overseas trip, making his first stop in London. The president will meet with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak this morning before heading to Windsor Castle for a visit with King Charles. President Biden then will fly to Lithuania's capital city to attend the 74th NATO summit. He'll end his trip in Finland, which just joined NATO in April. The U.S. labor market grew at a slower than expected pace last month. U.S. employers added 209,000 jobs in June, missing economists' expectations, but giving hope the U.S. will dodge a recession.
The data, the Bureau of Labor Statistics data, I think are consistent with where the Fed wants to see the economy going.
After a pause on its aggressive rate hiking campaign in June, the Federal Reserve will make its next decision on interest rates July 26th. And a very rare occurrence set to happen this week. People in 17 states may be able to see the northern lights on Thursday. If it's on your bucket list, experts think you may only need to drive to Indiana to see it. The Space Weather Prediction Center says if you're interested in seeing them, you should get away from city lights. And the higher north you go, the closer to Canada for us, the brighter the aurora will be. Well, if you have plans to visit downtown Nashville anytime soon, a heads up, the Broadway Bridge is now closed. It'll stay shut down for months from 8th Avenue to 13th. TDOT says it wants to make the bridge safer for both drivers and walkers. The bridge will reopen September 7th. And if you play Powerball, you could win one of the biggest jackpots ever tonight. No one took home Saturday's drawing of $615 million. It's now up to $650 million tonight. That would make it the 9th largest Powerball prize ever. You can still grab your tickets this morning. Tonight's drawing is at 11 o'clock.
Archimedes was fascinated by water displacement.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny lost the top spot at the box office this weekend. It dropped to second, making $26.5 million over the weekend.
You told me that when I was 10. I was in a coma, but I don't remember being sick.
We're ready to forget.
Insidious, the Red Door, debuted at #1 with $32.7 million. That's double what the horror film cost to make.
UT's Johannes Monday is on the court right now at Wimbledon. Today's the second round of doubles draw. Today's match started around 6 o'clock. Right now they're in the second set. Monday and his partner dropped the first set, but still a lot of time left. We're keeping an eye on how he and his partner will be doing. We'll continue to let you know if they advance on.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 MLB Draft, the Colorado Rockies select Chase Dollander, a right-handed pitcher from the University of Tennessee.
And Chase Dollander, the highest drafted Vol under head coach Tony Vitello, selected 9th overall in this year's MLB draft last night. He'll reunite with Jordan Beck as a part of the Colorado Rockies organization. A bunch of more Vols hoping to hear their name called. Rounds 3 through 10 get started today at 2 o'clock.
It is 6:54. We do want to get a look at the roads with Whitney.
Get your low beams on and just use caution as you head out the door on this Monday morning. Could run into some pockets of low visibility due to some fog. Taking a look now at I-40 right around Winfield Dunn Parkway. You can see that volume is steady. That fog isn't causing any major slowdowns for you, so you are in good shape as you make your way out on the roads. On I-40 right around Hall of Fame Drive, there was some debris in the roadway. TDOT came and moved that into the shoulder, so it's not blocking any lanes for you. Be quiet as you're moving around downtown Knoxville this morning. Heads up, starting tonight, some overnight road work is going to be taking place on I-40 East right around that Alcoa Highway exit. It's going to affect that evening commute from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So overnight, just use caution. You could run into some lane closures and delays. Crews are installing an overhead sign.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
And it is 6:55 now. Can see the layers of clouds. These are moving out. Some light fog here around Sevier County. Most of the fog is actually developing where the clouds have peeled back. So it's almost two different stories. Cloudy with some light fog East Tennessee, dense fog dotted on the plateau to the Tennessee-Kentucky line, which is why that's where there's a dense fog advisory. Meanwhile, this layer of cloud sits over the valley and east. We have a couple of sprinkles trying to develop still in parts of Sevier County and Cott County. Moving east along with this cloud cover, temperatures are cooler north and west where you've already felt that dip in humidity just a little bit. We got more for all of us to share later. Temperature 70 Knoxville, 66 Washburn, even 63 Jamestown. So improvements to be seen and felt today include decreasing clouds, decreasing humidity. That means more afternoon sunshine. We'll be at 78 at noon with a nice breeze out of the northeast. High today 86, which is actually a few degrees below average, and that decreasing humidity. We'll still be around 80 at 8. I really think you're going to feel a bigger difference going into the evening and overnight. So hopefully this part puts a smile on your face as we become a little muggy to drier. And that's what sets the stage for a cooler night tonight. Think of lower humidity as more cooling room. So by tomorrow morning, the AC won't be running as hard, maybe even open up the windows and get some fresh air. It'll be 56 in the morning in Crossville, 63 in Knoxville and Rutledge, and 55 in Middlesboro. So the next couple of mornings are cooler, but the afternoons and all that sunshine, that's where we rebound to right around normal, right around 90 degrees before we bounce back into that pattern of on and off rain and storms later this week. So I'll track that for you coming up on the CW.
So you're telling me enjoy the next 3 days.
Absolutely.
Car washing, laying outside, I'm gonna do it all.